Hello amazing artists, this is Mr. D, and for this video we are going to create a piece of art called April Showers. So what you will need for this project I've got in front of me, you'll need a piece of paper. If you can, it would be best if it's a blue piece of construction paper. So if you could find a blue piece of construction paper, then that would be great. You'll need some cotton balls, you'll need a Q-tip, you will need some blue paint, and you will need some glue. So while you find those objects or have an adult help you find those objects, you can go ahead and pause the video, and then once you've found those objects you can come back and restart the video. For those of you that already have those objects, then we will go ahead and start. So today we are going to talk about value, and if you remember, value is the lightness or darkness of a color. So this is how value will help us in this piece of art. So we've got a blue background, but we're going to need another shade of blue in order to create our rain. So what we'll do is, if you need a darker color from a color you already have, so let's say if you have a blue color and you're needing another blue that's darker, let's pretend that this paint is the same color as this paper. In order to get this paint darker, we'd add just a little bit of black to it, and that would create a different value. If we wanted to make it lighter than this blue color, we would add a little bit of white to it, and that would create a different value. Okay? My blue paint is already a little bit darker than this blue, so it's going to be a darker value than this blue. But we have to have a different type of blue, or else it's not going to show up on the paper, and that's where value comes in handy, because you've got a blue sky and blue rain droplets, but in order to see the blue rain droplets, it either has to be a darker blue or a lighter blue than your background. Okay? So to start off with, we're going to create some clouds out of cotton balls. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my glue stick. I'm not going to glue onto the cotton balls. I'm just going to put a lot of glue right up here where I want my clouds to go. So I'm going to place a lot of glue right there, then put my lid back on my glue. Then I'm going to take my cotton balls and I'm going to start sticking them to the glue to create a cloud. You're going to have to press down a little bit hard too to make sure that they get stuck onto the paper, onto the glue. And by the time you get over here, this glue over here may be a little bit dried out, so you may have to go and reapply some glue once you get to the right side if you started from the left. So I'm just going to place my clouds, my cotton balls onto the paper. Let's see if these last two stick. I may have to, like I said, go back and add just a little bit of glue for the last two clouds I put on. But I think that they're probably good. So we have our clouds. Now what we're going to need are our rain droplets falling from the clouds. So I'm going to take my Q-tip, I'm going to dip it into my blue paint. First you have to make sure that your blue paint is either darker or lighter than the background color. So if it's about the same color, then you need to either add some black or some white to make it a darker value or a lighter value. And then we're just going to place some dots, and you don't want them just to be perfect lines going down, because rain doesn't fall in perfect lines. So once it starts fading away, I know I need to re-dip my Q-tip into the paint. And I'm just spacing it out to where it looks like rain droplets falling from the sky. Here and there, I'm going to re-dip my Q-tip into my paint so that it doesn't run out. Also, you don't want your raindrops to come over here, because they're falling from the clouds, and if it's over here, the wind would have to be blowing it really hard for it to get that far over to the right of the paper. So make sure it's within the cloud's length. And if you've ever heard the expression, April showers bring May flowers, what you could also do is don't take your rain droplets all the way to the bottom, and you could use some markers, or you create some out of construction paper and put some flowers down here at the bottom like it's raining on some flowers. I'm going to add just a couple more rain droplets. Okay, and there are my rain droplets that are falling from the sky. I have this rain droplet that's a little bit too far over, so I'm going to try to move this cotton ball to where it looks like the rain droplet could have actually fallen from that cotton ball. So I'm just going to spread it out just a little bit more, and maybe spread this one out just a little bit more. And I am actually going to draw some flowers, I think. And I actually decided I'm going to use crayon instead of marker. So to make it easier, I'm going to turn my paper, or turn my tray this way. It will make it easier for me to get to the flowers. So I've got my crayons, and I know that I want a green because the stem of the flowers will be green. But then I've just got to decide what color I want my flowers to be. I think I'm going to have one of the petals be red, and then or what I could even do is have it blue, and that will add us even another value of blue, and create some blue, red, and I'll grab out pink and purple. So to start off with, I'm going to move all of this stuff that I don't really need anymore. I'm going to create a purple flower. And I'm actually going to get out a yellow so I can do the center of it yellow, even though that may not show up, and it's not showing up that great on the blue, but that's okay. And I'm just going to create some purple petals. Remember, as I outline, I'm using hard pressure, so I'm pressing down hard with my purple. And then I'm going to go back, coloring diagonally one direction, and I'm going to fill in those petals. I'm even going to do a hard outline around the yellow circle. And there I've got one of my flowers. I'm going to get my green with hard pressure. I'm going to bring it down and maybe give it one little leaf that I'm going to color in using light pressure. Okay, so there's one flower. Now let's use our blue and let's create a flower like this. So see, this is even a different shade of blue, so it's adding more value to the paper. It's not as dark as our rain droplets, but it's a little bit darker than the background. So outlining it, I'm going to press down and use hard pressure, and then coloring it in, I'm going to use soft pressure. Then I'm going to add my stem. Let's go over a little bit, and let's just add a pattern of blue and purple flowers. So I'm going to create my petals. And then I'm going to fill in the middle with my yellow, and then take my green and add a leaf. Next, I'm going to do the same thing I did for this flower. I'm just going to do a hard outline, color that in, and then do a hard outline of that. We're going to go again to right here, create the center, then create the petals with a hard outline, outline the center with a hard outline, and then color in with soft pressure. Add my stem. We need to add a blue right here, blue flower. Color that in. Over here we need to add a blue flower, and that will be the last flower that we add. Color it in lightly. And then we just need to add some grass, so just some zigzag lines that run across the paper that are near the bottom of our stems. Some can be taller, some can be shorter. And then after we have those, let's just color in the grass by going side to side or horizontally and just coloring in our grass. And we don't have to get too close to the bottom because we don't want to accidentally get some crown marks on our table. So we'll just have a little bit of blue showing there at the bottom, but that will be okay. So now, our finished product, we've got some cotton balls for clouds, then we've got little paint droplets for the rain, and we've got some flowers that we drew. You can use markers, or you can use crayons or colored pencils. Markers may show up the best. But there is our April Showers project. I hope you have an awesome rest of your day, and goodbye.